Right, it's that time again for the Pan-African Parliament's latest session, which will start in earnest today as it moves towards a leadership election. Elections at last year's sitting, you'll remember well, it collapsed amid scenes of chaos in Midrand, and it's pretty much so picking up on the same theme that it left off last year, and that's trying to elect its new president. But let's get more from our reporter who is covering today, Khayelihle Khumalo. Kaya, gosh, this is going to be another one of those days, I can only imagine. I mean, I'm sure it's everybody waiting to see what actually unfolds. Are we picking up the same theme as was left off last year? Because it was not nice pictures and visuals coming out of the Pan-African Parliament. And then, of course, it was just left. And here we are. Talk to us. What are we expecting today?
Well, certainly, Leanne, quite a great deal of expectations from the Africans, as of course the official opening is going to get underway shortly. But of course, those very awful scenes last year, really, they were really just so embarrassing for the continent, as the MPs were not able to reach a consensus. But of course, this time around, it's going to be a moment of redemption. And of course, it's about the multiplicity of voices from the continent. From Botswana now, we're joined by one of the MPs. So, sir, thank you so much indeed. You were talking to me about the concerns around the fuel price, saying that this is the time really to get down to the brass tacks and address all these critical matters.
That's true. The most important thing is to make sure that we address the issue of the fuel price. We have to make sure that on the issue of the food security, right now the conflict in between Russia and Ukraine has affected Africa. It may appear that the war is in Africa, it's not in Europe. It's quite embarrassing to see that we are living with out of the handout from the European countries. So if the Europe is sneeze, we got the flu. So really, we have to make sure that we come up with a tangible and resolute resolution that can address the issues of the African child.
And once again, the elephant in the room. Are we going to see harmony? Are we going to see the new leadership elected where we don't see the pandemonium erupting?
We are here to come in and elect a new leadership. We are here to set the structure of the African continent. I don't think we can keep on entertaining the rowdy situation that we have already embarrassed ourselves. We are a laughingstock internationally. So this time around, we have to redeem ourselves to make sure that we set up the structures for the African continent to be operational.
And just once again, sir, before I let you go, do you think the Southern African bloc is united? We see there are two candidates, so it's a bit of a tricky situation.
That is the beauty of democracy. There have to be 4 or 5 candidates from the same region. So the primary will decide after we have one candidate and we present that candidate into the plenary. So we fight from that corner as a continent.
All right, so thank you so much indeed for your time. So, of course, all the way from Botswana, Leanne, so quite a number of MPs are coming in. And something really that is a bit of a challenge in South Africa is around energy security. At this particular point in time, the House is just plunged into darkness. We don't know how it's going to proceed, but obviously they do say that there's a backup plan to try and make sure that the proceedings do go, unhindered. And during the course of the morning, we do expect to hear from the African Union Commission Chair, Musa Faki Mohammed, all the way from Ethiopia, to really make sure that this particular institution is given the respect that it deserves. But apart from that, be able to understand that it certainly does have a very critical role to play in the continent. So many issues around peace and security, the issue of food and security, the nutrition, which is going to be a very central theme during the course of the sitting of this parliament.
All right, Khayelihle, thank you very, very much for that. Khayelihle Khumalo talking to us from Midrand as the Pan-African Parliament is scheduled to kick off. Problem is there's no electricity at the moment and seems it's been plunged into load shedding, and they're trying to make a plan to light up the place, get it warm as well. Quite cold here in the area. So let's just hope that besides all of the complexities that need to be seen to, they can also sort out the logistics of that. Kaya, thanks so much.